what's going on, everybody? This is Aaron of the Nostalgic Nerd Podcast coming to you with a kind of a short video. Um, there's a ton of talk going on right now about the new Superman movie. And I feel like there's two sides of this particular where people stand on this particular movie. There's really two sides. It's kind of hype or hate the way I look at it. To me, there's either a side of people who are legitimately looking forward to this movie and are hyped to see it, that are Superman fans of any iteration, whether animated, movie, or television, that are looking forward to seeing another iteration of the character. Now, with the David Cornsweet, James Gunn Superman movie, this is more in line with the Christopher Reeve type hopeful Superman. A lot more comic book based, less of a serious tone and more of a hopeful tone with humor interjected into it, but also an earnest film with lots of heart. And people really have strong feelings on both of these. Now, I'll come to you with this. I was a huge Zack Snyder fan, Man of Steel, BVS, and of course the Snyder cut of the Justice League. And to some extent, I liked Aquaman and Wonder Woman. But unfortunately, with that whole situation, that universe came to a screeching halt after many attempts to try to recalibrate it or change tones or new leadership. And then James Gunn and Peter Safran took over and they completely rebooted this whole thing, which we now know as, of course, the DCU. And that right there caused a huge division within the fan base. There are people who, when this movie comes out, don't want to see it. There are people, when this movie comes out, they want to protest it by leaving bad reviews on review sites. There's hashtags going around. I mean, are we really surprised at this point? Hashtags while it's closed, hashtags restore the Snyderverse. Everybody's seen it. We have social media. Everybody knows about it. And a lot of these people are dead set on this movie failing. A lot of people really want this movie to be so bad that it sets back the character, 10 more years. And then we see a different iteration. They will not accept this Superman, this actor as Superman, this director as a director of the Superman movie they want to see. Fans are allowed to have their own opinions about a boatload of stuff. Um, just like people like myself who were fans of a previous two iterations, really the Christopher Reeve character, which was also done in Superman Returns to an extent, and then of course Zack Snyder's take. Now, a lot of the news going around right now really has to do with the fact that uh, Superman is looked at as a character of hope, a character that helps cats out of trees and helps old lady cross the street, and really just wants to be loved and get along with his fellow man. Which, in a world we live in right now, that's not a bad thing. 'Cause there's a lot of bad going on in the world, regardless of what side of the politics you sit on or just how crazy things are in general. It's cool to see a movie with a hopeful character that isn't so dour and so dark. I think the thing with the Zack Snyder Superman take is it was a more grounded, gritty, serious, stoic character. And he didn't really embody, at least the physical side, Henry Cavill embodied perfectly. He looked like Superman. But when it comes to the personality or the way he carried himself, he kind of carried himself kind of like Batman. You know what I mean? Brooding, uh, kind of an outcast. He wasn't someone who carried himself with a demeanor that people would want to come up and talk to him. Almost a messianic figure. People always go with the Jesus comparisons with Superman, And Zack Snyder went right in on that particular thing. He didn't shy away from it. And this take on Superman now is completely comic book. It's got Crypto Superdog in there, all sorts of different characters. It's got Superman trying to save a dog in one of the trailers. Um, yeah, it's a quick, or it's a huge. There's a huge gap between tones, and a lot of people don't like that. But I just want to say personally, I am a fan of both, all three iterations of the character since I've been alive, 45 years, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie, and I'm hoping it does well. Now, as far as that part, there has been so many different numbers that have came out days apart. Some saying the movie might struggle to open up to 100 million opening weekend. From some reports, from like Box Office Theory, which said it can open up between 135 and 175 opening weekend. Nobody really knows. We'll know later next week when it opens. It's got 6 more days. It opens on the 11th. I personally don't know when I'm going to see it opening weekend, but I'm going to figure that out. But yeah, it really just, that whole part with the box office, that um when it comes to the Snyderverse versus Gunn Superman, I feel like that is going to be the tipping point in that particular conversation. If the movie does well, a lot of those people might get quiet, and not say much. And if the movie does poorly and is poorly received, the Snyder fans, Snyderverse, whatever you want to call it, Snyder cult, will be louder than ever. So there's that part. And then there's just people that go to see movies and enjoy movies for what they're worth. People who go and don't pay attention to the internet, don't pay attention to reviews, and go and just try to enjoy a fun popcorn, candy eating type of thing where you just go in and enjoy yourself. Unfortunately, with the access to the internet, you can't really do that anymore because people spoil everything and people have their opinions, and sometimes their opinions can form your opinions. So, question I want to ask to you, if you're still listening this long into the videos, where do you stand on your take on this new character, or Superman or DC as a whole? Are you looking for a refreshing, uh, softer, probably more universally loved version of the character, something that families can go and see? Or are you down with the gritty kind of real world, uh, over, just super, like I said, the messianic kind of version of Superman, with Zack Snyder, where he really, really leaned into Superman's greatness and his invulnerability. Superman was essentially unbeatable in his version, whereas in the Zack Snyder version, he's definitely weakened him a little bit with some of his powers. Where do you stand on that? What is your what is your thought on this movie? Are you not going to see it? Are you going to close your wallet? Or are you an open-minded person like myself who wants to see a different interpretation and is hoping the movie does well and that it spawns uh, different movies, sequels, uh, character being in different movies, different. I know that they want to do stuff with the animated as well, so you might see David Cornsweet Superman in animated form or in video game form as well. But a lot of that has to do with how well this movie is going to do and how it's received. Some people think it could break a billion. I'm happy if it does around 800, 750 to 800 million, which would be better than Man of Steel. So that's kind of where I'm kind of measuring it at, like what I think would be kind of a good way to know if it's successful or not. And how is it going to do on its second weekend? That's gonna kind of be the telling factor because there's a lot of movies coming out all back to back. You have Jurassic Park, you have Superman, and then you have Fantastic Four. So Superman's going to do its damage. It's going to have to do it in the first 2 weeks that it's out. So that's going to be the biggest question. If the movie is financially profitable, then things are going to go on as promised. If the movie barely makes back its budget, I think still things will go on as promised as far as the plans for different movies and shows and stuff. But you know, they want to turn a profit. They want this movie to be universally accepted. So I'm hoping it is, and I'm hoping they go forward with all the other things that they got planned. But this movie, I think where I think it might do better than the Zack Snyder movies is it's a general audience can go in and see this movie with their kids, and all can take different things out of it. The Crypto the Super Dog is definitely there for the children and the women. The Lois Lane and Superman relationship definitely there for the women. And then you got the comic book side of things with all the crazy monsters and villains and all that stuff that kind of uh, you know, attaches itself to the inner, 8-year-old that we all have who watched Superman as a cartoon or watched the Christopher Reeve movies when we were young. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here. I wanted to put all that out there, and then I wanted to get people's questions of where you sit with this movie. Are you going to see it? Are you going to not see it? Are you going to protest against it? Hashtag against it? Or are you just going in with an open mind and hoping this movie does well in the box office? I'm really hoping it does well at the box office. I'm hoping I'm going to like it, and I hope it spawns more sequels and all sorts of different things that come out of it. But it all starts with 6 days from now, July 11th, and we'll see. We'll see where this all goes. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Everybody have a great rest of your week or weekend here on a Saturday, and I will talk to you guys on the other side. Peace out. Take care. Bye bye.